process. Well, if you want your CEO and CFO to invest in supply chain, then don't talk about supply chain. Yeah, that's an important piece of advice. Why? The moment you talk about supply chain, it's like they get an allergic reaction. They think it's going to be very technical, and they don't necessarily like stuff which is too technical. So instead of talking about supply chain, we need to talk about other stuff. Yeah, and what is stuff we can talk about to them? Yeah, first step is simple, like show them the money, right? So if you want to improve supply chain and show them the money, yeah, and how can we show them the money? Well, we often use that supply chain triangle of service, cost, and cash. Or if you position it a bit more broadly, it's not just the working capital or the cash which goes into the working capital. It's also the cash which goes into the fixed assets. It's the capex which goes into capacities, into plants, into distribution centers, whatever you own. That's the capital employed. And so when companies come to me and they say, hey, we want to improve our S&OP, I often ask, like, do you have issues with the service? Yeah. Oh, no, the service is good. What about the cost? Well, we are a high margin business, so cost is not really an issue. What about inventories? We are family owned, so inventory is not an issue. I said, but if you don't have issues, then maybe you don't need S&OP, right? So again, don't start with S&OP or don't start with supply chain, start with the business challenges and the business problems. Show them the money. Well, if we know where we are struggling with service, we should be able to link it to the top line, either to sales in units or sales prices, margins we can generate. The costs should, the sales and the costs should link into the bottom line. And we should also look at capital employed, like inventories, yeah, or maybe we can postpone capex because we can then better utilize our existing assets. But through that triangle, you can make a quite explicit links to financial metrics. And this is another tool we use here. Is like, okay, what could this bring? Yeah. Well, we have here kind of a business case template where we just fill in the financials from a company. And then together with the company, we start analyzing, okay, where do we think the improvement could be? Maybe if I improve my service level with 4%, I expect that 4% service level improvement will translate into 2% top line improvement. And because half of the things I cannot immediately deliver are currently lost sales. That's just an example. So we come up with templates and we help you to identify, okay, in our specific situation, where could the benefits be? Yeah. And this is how to trigger the interest of a CEO or a CFO. It's so don't start with supply chain or S&OP or planning systems. No, start with showing them the money.